I'm Mayor George Fuller. More and more people are taking notice that McKinney is a city on the rise. You can see it in the diverse neighborhoods, the growing business districts, the peaceful natural settings, and the many cultural opportunities that come together to form a balanced way of life. And as one of the fastest growing cities in the country, more people and businesses are making the decision to call McKinney home. McKinney is a city on the rise. The McKinney Economic Development Corporation announced projects with an estimated investment of nearly $182 million, bringing more than 1,400 new jobs to our community. This year alone, employers like Blount Fine Foods, Cativity, PACCAR, Independent Bank, Playful, Service First Mortgage, and Simpson Strong Tie have made McKinney their new home or have expanded their current operations. Construction is underway on Davis at the Square, a new development that will add to the diverse feel of our city and help maintain a vibrant downtown. The city and MEDC have also partnered with a development team led by KDC for the Gateway development, which we're now calling Southgate McKinney. Site proposals show plans for office spaces, shops, and residential dwellings, all to be organized around open, green spaces comprised of water features, lawns for events, and native landscape inspired by the prairie heritage of North Texas. The city and McKinney Community Development Corporation has entered into a public-private partnership for a $100 million resort hotel and conference center in Craig Ranch, an attractive amenity for businesses and visitors alike. The airport experienced another record-setting year, with operations rising 11% compared to last year. Fuel sold at the FBO increased by 2%, resulting in an increase of more than 16% in revenues over the last year. Construction began on a 10,000 square foot transient hangar, which is already fully leased and scheduled to open by the end of the year. This spring, the city opened the doors to the Apex Center, the new aquatics and fitness center in Gabe Nesbitt Community Park. MCDC paid for more than 95% of the construction of the facility, made possible from a half-cent quality of life sales tax here in McKinney. We pride ourselves in the successful partnerships we have within the city, which help realize high-quality projects and let us respond to the needs of our growing community. More improvements to the city's quality of life are on the way. Based on valuable input from our residents, the Parks and Recreation Master Plan Update has identified and selected 10 existing parks for needed improvements and updates. The city is also updating plans to expand facilities, resources, programs, and staff at both libraries to keep up with the residents' need for learning and fun. This year, Collin College unveiled an ambitious master plan to expand their footprint and increase outreach as they continue providing the community with a highly educated and skilled workforce. It's a visionary plan that will anticipate and accommodate the unprecedented growth that lies ahead in our county. Our school district is also thriving. Construction will soon be complete on the new McKinney ISD football stadium, which has gained national attention and will serve as the home of new traditions, friendly rivalries, and memories that will last a lifetime. As we continue to work for the betterment of McKinney, I see great benefit at looking at things with a new perspective. You know, our top priority is to make decisions that positively impact everyone that calls McKinney home. Recently, we adopted a 3-cent property tax reduction, keeping more money in the hands of our residents. The spotlight continues to shine brightly on McKinney, and numerous accolades and awards show that we continue to be a premier city. We have so much to be thankful for in our community, and so much to look forward to in the future. And I want to thank all the people that have made this such an incredible year in our history. You know, McKinney is on the rise, and I can't wait to see what new heights we're able to achieve together.
Well, just in case you didn't notice, that wasn't my voice up there, nor was that me. But that's a tease for what the mayor is going to talk about here soon. We're very excited on behalf of staff for the leadership under Mayor Fuller and our new city council. And good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here and see all of you. And after another year, I sure feel like I've gotten to know some of you a lot more in the audience. And it's truly been our pleasure. My wife, Lucy, who is sitting here today, my wife of 15 years today, by the way. Thank you. And I think I can speak for us and our family in saying that we love this city and all that it has to offer. And we thank those who have welcomed us and helped us call McKinney home. I'd like to thank the City Council sitting right here for their continued leadership of the city. It's not an easy job, really tough. They don't get paid much, I promise you, for the hours that they put in. And we've had an election this last May, so we've got some new folks on board. We've got the mayor and 3 new council members. And we've been spending a lot of time understanding with them, understanding their priorities, their concerns, and their goals. They ran for a reason. They ran because they had a vision and they want to impart that onto the community, and that's how it works. And it's a pleasure from our standpoint as staff to be a part of that. At the end of this year, we'll be nearing a population of 175,000. We issued over 2,200 housing permits in 2016, and we're on course to issue more in 2017. At this remarkable rate, we're welcoming about 8,100 new residents each year. Think about this, 22 new residents each day. As this trend inevitably continues, we must rise to the challenge of guiding this rapid growth so the future of our city remains true to our roots. We also want to ensure we are improving on those things that make McKinney great today. Cultural diversity and natural beauty set alongside new businesses and growth, all of which foster a place that families gravitate to for excellent schools and quality of life. In sum, all of these elements work together to make us unique by nature and have done so throughout the city's history. As staff, we have a responsibility to continue planning and preparing for this growth and working with our elected officials in providing the resources and adopting the policies that continue the right type of growth, that which makes our city better. It's been over a year since I've come on board, and I have to tell you how proud I am of the employees we have with the city. Our 5-star recognition from the Texas Comptroller and our AAA ratings from both Moody's and Standard & Poor's are merely 2 very visible examples of our commitment to being a well-run, transparent, and financially stable city, and a solid investment for our development community, property owners, and all those who choose McKinney as their home. I'd like to take a moment to recognize some of the accomplishments of our staff, your city staff, over this past year. The city has earned a number of statewide and national recognitions, and I'm just going to list a few of them. Our police earned National CALIA accreditation. That's a really big deal, very labor intensive, and that basically is recognition that they embrace the highest standards of police work as set by national standards. Our fire department, yeah, absolutely. Our fire department earned statewide recognition for best practices as well. Our communications team won Best Municipal Website in the state and Best Annual Report in the nation. So the annual report you get to go to and take a look at, this was for the previous year, but you get a taste of that. They're constantly changing and moving and innovating with the marketplace, which some of us probably aren't as good at as others. But boy, I tell you, our communications folks do a very good job with that. Our Public Works team won Project of the Year by the state for our dam rehabilitation efforts of the Highland Lakes Dam. A lot of these things are unseen to our residents. You won't see it. You know, it flies under the radar. But I think these are the opportunities for you to hear about that and understand the quality of work that's being produced. It's your tax dollars at work. The Apex Center won a Design Excellence Award in Texas for its professional design quality and recreation usage. The McKinney Air Center was named #1 in the nation, and the Air Traffic Control Tower was named #3 best in the nation. Our finance department consistently wins nationwide recognitions for excellence, including the 5-star recognition that I previously mentioned. And just today, just this morning, we've received notice that after a 6-week or so campaign, spearheaded by our own Impact Main Street Director, Amy Rosenthal, McKinney is one of 10 communities nationwide to qualify for a $150,000 grant from the National Trust for Historic Preservation's Main Street program. So a hand to our folks at Main Street. We were among dozens of communities who competed nationally for this grant funding, and the only one in Texas, by the way, which will be used to polish a gem. That was our campaign, polish a gem. That is to provide facade improvements to the venerable Performing Arts Center that serves as the hallmark of our town square. So Amy, I don't know if Amy was able to make it today. I think she's out putting together her shopping list of a $150,000 shopping list for the impact. But they did a great job. And then finally, I wanted to point out, we talked about hurricane relief in Houston. Our staff, we work hard, we get after it. There's a lot of work, and there's a furious growth, and all of the things that we have to deal with, but we still are a community with a heart, and we're an organization with a heart. We sent 17 people, I believe, all together between our fire department, police, and public works to help with hurricane relief efforts down in Houston over that period, and I think that's something that we should give them a hand for. They did great work. I could go on and on. I really think the main point, the main takeaway is that we take excellence seriously. We're making substantial changes to the city's development processes, making it easier to do business with the city. Go to our website to see testimonials from developers who have come to McKinney and share their experiences in doing business with us. I've gotten a lot of feedback that it hasn't always been that way, but I want you to know that we heard you, and we are making concerted efforts to trying to help with the development process. To further increase transparency, we launched a virtual town hall to engage residents on topics such as budget, council priorities, development, and even rumors circulating around the community. We believe citizens have a right to know what the city is doing and how things are being done, and we'll continue to add more ways residents can learn about city activities and get involved in their local government. Finally, I want you to know that we're building a winning culture in our organization. And as chief executive of the organization, I can tell you that there's no more important role for me. This past year, city employees worked together to create a set of unified core values this year to guide the way we treat those within and outside our organization. Everything we do will center on respect, integrity, service, and excellence. The first letters of each word spelling out RISE. I don't know if we can put that up. That is a product of the work of our employees in building our core values. It's our employees who developed this, not me, not the city council, but the work of our employees. And these values are intended for us to inspire and hold ourselves accountable to the high standards we set together. I'd like for our department directors who've joined us today to stand up and be recognized. All of our department directors from the city of McKinney, please stand up quickly. And assistant and deputy city manager. All right, we'll let you stay seated, I guess. Anyway, they work awfully hard with all of the operating departments in delivering the services that we've been talking about. So we don't aspire to these values for the mere sake of it. While common values are attributes shared by all great organizations, we do this out of necessity to prepare our organization for the incredible changes in the nature of work that we, all of us in this room, are just starting to see. You see, we live in a world full of volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. Some of you may have heard this referred to under the acronym VUCA. What makes this unique in history is the sheer volume of information that we're bombarded with each day. Some good, an awful lot just noise. And at a speed through social media and the Internet of Things that exponentially increases the complexity. Think about this. In 2011, Americans took in 5 times as much information every day as they did in 1986. That's equivalent to 175 newspapers. We may not see it because we kind of grow used to this, but that's what we're seeing in the change of the workplace is the volume of information. During our leisure time, not even counting work, each of us processes 34 gigabytes or 100,000 words every day, and 20 gigabytes of audiovisual images. So having a workforce that can sort, process, analyze, and present this data will be increasingly imperative in preparing us and executing public policy decisions. And we can't do that without a unified can-do culture shared by our staff. We all have to share the same culture in performing the increasingly complex work in a VUCA environment. And in our case, it's exhibited by the RISE principles that we showed you earlier. So I'd like to take a moment to thank all of the many individuals who contributed to the city, whether it's on one of our boards and commissions, our EDC and CDC. We've done an awful lot of work this year, and I certainly thank you for your cooperation and help. I see the chairman of our EDC, and I think the chairman of our CDC is here as well. Thank you for that. I want to also thank the many volunteer programs and organizations here we have in the community. You're really the glue that holds our community together and makes it work. With your ongoing support, McKinney will continue to flourish and grow, and will continue to deliver world-class service with a smile in the McKinney way, and most of all, we hope to do you all proud. Thank you very much, and I appreciate your time today.
Thank you, Mr. Grimes. Okay, I have an update for you. The Rebuild Texas Fund, we are at $2,200. I know that we can do a little better than that. So thank you to all who has contributed. Just a reminder, you can text the word Texas to 41444. So text the word Texas to 41444. Our next speaker is Dr. Madkin. He became Collin College's 3rd District President on April 6, 2015. He previously served as the Executive Vice President of the Louisiana Community and Technical College System, where he was Executive Vice President for over 16 colleges. Dr. Madkin also served as a statewide chair of the Board of Regents Articulation and Transfer Committee. Prior, Dr. Madkin was president of the Central Campus of San Jacinto College in Pasadena, Texas. Vice Chancellor and Chief Information Officer for the Virginia Community College System, and Chief Administrative Officer for the Illinois Century Network, a statewide effort under the Illinois Board of Higher Education. Dr. Madkin currently serves on the Collin County Business Alliance Board and the Congressional Veterans Commendation Selection Board. It's a lot of long names for the boards, you know. Try to join some with shorter names. He holds Associate of Arts, Bachelor of Arts, Master of Science, Master of Business Administration degrees, so clearly he's passionate about education. He earned his Doctorate of Education from Texas A&M University, Commerce. So now help me in welcoming Dr. Neil Madkin.
That was my speech. Well, greetings, everyone. Hope everybody's doing well. I like being the one that gets to talk immediately after lunch. That works out well for me. I am truly excited to be here today because I have an opportunity to start off with a very simple sentiment, and that's to say thank you. This last May, we passed a $600 million bond across Collin County. Could not have done it without your votes. And we live in an incredible time of incredible growth. And I hope to share with you a little bit today what's happening and what we're planning on doing to address that growth. So first, I want to say thank you. Next is the result. What are we working on? Right here in McKinney, we're working on a public safety training center that will open up this May of 18. We have some partners in the room. We have our police chief, we have our fire chief and our city, and a major partnership between not only McKinney, but the city of Allen has come to the city of McKinney and wants to be part of something that's kind of amazing. And that operation is going to train first responders for many years to come to make sure that we have the very best quality in fire and police and EMT eventually here in Collin County. We're also working feverishly as we speak on the Wiley campus, a full campus to serve 7,500 students in Wiley, and we think it'll fill up quite quickly, and also a technical campus in Allen. And I'm very, very excited about this campus in Allen because it's at the crossroads and really opens up opportunities to share with McKinney ISD, Plano, Frisco, and Allen ISD technical programming to complement what they're already doing in their career and technical education programs so that students can learn the trade of plumbing, or become electricians, or work on our HVAC systems. Has anybody tried to hire a plumber or somebody to come work on your air conditioner here lately? Get in line. It's almost as bad as nursing, but not quite. And Joe, we're working on that too. So we've also got in phase 2, the Salina campus, Farmersville campus, and an IT center of excellence in Frisco to build on the convergence technology centers that we've had for many years that have been funded by fairly significant grants from the National Science Foundation. So this is the Public Safety Training Center in McKinney. The overview, it's just down the road off of 75, and it's going to be a facility that has burn buildings and other things. If you live near there, when you see fires start after this next summer, just call my office. I'll let you know what's going on. I understand from our former president that was a pretty normal complaint when the fire buildings were on the McKinney campus, or concerned at least. Hey, something's on fire. We know we did that on purpose. So we're also, again, these are conceptual drawings for the Wiley campus, as well as the Technology Center in Allen. There at the crossroads off 121 and near 121 in Custer. And it's going to be a phenomenal facility that offers trades, and we expect that to grow quite quickly as well. As was referenced earlier, the Texas legislature passed Senate Bill 2118, and the governor signed it into law, allowing us to offer not just baccalaureate degrees in nursing, but also applied technology and applied science. Folks, the nursing shortage is real, and we're very, very excited. And we had a lot of resistance from some of our university partners. And I want to tell you, we're not going to take a single student from one of our universities. Folks that want to go to university are going to continue to go. What we are going to do is open up the opportunity at a price point of about $10,000, which is 1/3 the price, or 1/5 the price, depending on which university you go to. We're going to open up an opportunity for a Bachelor of Science in Nursing for folks who may have dreamed about it, may have hoped about it, but never thought it was possible. And with partners like Joe and all the hospitals here in Collin County, and every one of them came to our aid, and every legislator, Scott, yourself included, I think Senator Taylor has already departed, every single legislator was unanimous in support for this incredible initiative, and we're so grateful, and we're excited. I want to tell you also that we had some incredible records that we broke in fall of 2017. The enrollment for the first time went above 30,000, a 6.5% increase, and I just learned this last week in Austin. I was in Austin last week and Houston this past week and saw some tremendous devastation. I have a sister, by the way, whose house was flooded, and you can text it to 43, no. But it is a mess down there. You still see people's belongings piled up throughout the whole corridor, and it's just folks are trying hard to get contractors. But that record enrollment, we are in the top 3 or 4 community colleges out of 50 across the state with tremendous growth. 8.6 or 8.7% growth this last year overall, the current numbers. And amazingly, it just continues to skyrocket. We passed 30,000 students for the first time this fall. We've been 29,000 and change. And if you just look at the number of new students we added, well over 2,000, we're the #1 fastest growing college in terms of actual bodies. So it's kind of an amazing time to be here in Collin County. We also grew by the number of first-time freshmen, a 9.4% increase in first-time freshmen, over 5,000. I see we've got an extra space up there after the comma, so we're planning on further growth, apparently. Over 5,000 first-time freshmen, a 9.4% increase, and dual credit is an area that we've really been working hard with our high schools. As part of our strategic plan, we want at least 30 hours of credit to be available at every single high school throughout Collin County. 2 years ago, we were in 1 out of 3 of our high schools had 30 hours of credit. Today, 2 out of 3 of our high school locations have 30 hours of credit available to the students. And in case you parents miss it, and let me put it in university language, it's a $30,000 value to take Collin College dual credit. And I just got some incredible information that I'm going to be sharing with our superintendents very shortly about the impact of dual credit. I learned some things this last week that really surprised me. and I'm excited to share that information as well. Looking a little closer to McKinney, our fall 2017 enrollment in McKinney was 5,792. That's an increase of 11.1%. McKinney's Central Park campus has been our fastest growing campus this year in Collin County. So folks, it continues to grow, and there's never been a better time for us to increase our physical footprint and make sure we continue in relevance to the needs of this incredible, incredible place. The Collin Higher Education Center in McKinney, I want to point this out. Everybody's racing to Frisco to open a university. Well, that's nice, and there may be 500 or 600 students total in our efforts between University of North Texas and Texas A&M Commerce on our Frisco campus. But here in McKinney, there's a Collin Higher Education Center that has 5 university partners and educates 3,300 students for bachelor's, master's, and doctorates. How many of you knew that the largest university presence in Collin County is in McKinney? It's kind of amazing when you stop to think about it, that just 8 minutes from here, 3,300 students are working with 5 universities in a Collin facility to get their bachelor's, master's, and doctorates. So for those of you that want to keep your students close to home, guess what? That option may be available to you today. So let me take a couple of minutes and talk about our corporate college effort. Our corporate college is reaching out to our business and industry to make sure we're offering customized training for our employees, curriculum development to fit the needs of our businesses and industries, and cost-effective, convenient, and that means our place or yours, training to meet the needs, just-in-time training to make sure that industry and business continues to prosper and be able to train their employees and make sure that everybody's doing what they need to do. So we're really proud of that effort and continuing to work with it. Folks, I've said several times, there was a coach in my undergraduate experience, and every time he took the stage, he would say something, and I'm going to invite you to say it here with me today, and yes, it's cheesy. It's all right. You're in friendly company. Nobody's recording this. Oh, they are. Never mind, I'm going to skip this part. But his name was Kermit Nelson, and Kermit Nelson would come out and he'd say, students, there's no place I would rather be than right here. And on the right here part, everybody joined with him. So folks, there's no place that I would rather be than right here. Thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you, Dr. Madkin. What I didn't mention, I also got my associates at Collin College. So I grew up in, yes. It was a lot more reading and homework than high school. I do remember that transition. But I did. I grew up with a single mother, and I had 2 sisters, and so I didn't have a 529 college savings plan like I helped my clients set up. So it was very affordable, and by the time I got my associates, we had no debt. So another story whenever I, finished the rest of my schooling. But for our relief fund, we have raised $27.51. So thank you so much for everyone that's been donating. And just think about it. You can even donate $25. And if you, do budgeting, my husband gets kind of frustrated with me sometimes. I'm a big budgeter. And, but if you give up $25, give up lunch one day, take your lunch to work, and donate to the relief fund. Our next speaker is Dr. McDaniel. He's a veteran of 29 years in public education, has served in the vital leadership roles at every stage of his career. McDaniel, the oldest of 4 boys, graduated from Stephen F. Austin State University in 1986. Before beginning his career as a teacher-coach in Tyler, Texas, during his tenure in Tyler, Dr. McDaniel was continually promoted, serving as science department chair, assistant principal, middle school principal, and eventually principal of Robert E. Lee High School, the very high school in which his career began. And then in 2005, McDaniel moved to McKinney, Texas. I'm sure you like it better now than, yeah. After being selected to open up McKinney Boyd High School, this 8-year tenure as a principal at McKinney Boyd proved to be a very successful one. During his tenure, the school experienced tremendous success academically, athletically, and in the area of fine arts. Dr. McDaniel received several honors and distinctions as the school reached a high level of success in a very short period of time. In 2014, McDaniel was named Assistant Superintendent of Student Services. Then in 2015, he was named Superintendent of the Schools for McKinney ISD. And then also a fun note, he does play the electric guitar. So I'm sure that some of his success, the kids in the high school just thought he was really cool and he was fun. So thank you for all you do, Dr. McDaniel. Please help me in welcoming him to the stage.
Good afternoon. It's always fun to follow Dr. Matkin. You never know what that's going to entail. It's always entertaining, I can tell you that. And nothing puts pressure on you to give to a hurricane relief like having your name up on the big screen, right? I saw a lot of you saw that, and all of a sudden you're texting real quick. We are many, and we are one. These are the very words that I spoke to our faculty and staff at the McKinney ISD Back to School Convocation approximately 9 weeks ago. I spoke in terms of a united team, honoring every facet of the organization, all pulling together toward a common goal. And that was to take McKinney ISD to the greatest heights ever before. As I thought about today's presentation, it occurred to me that the same mantra applies in terms of a diverse city such as McKinney. It clearly is on the rise. Recently, I did an interview with the Courier-Gazette, and the question was asked of me, where do you see McKinney ISD in 3 years? Now, my obvious answer mentioned student population and addition to facilities, etc. However, if I could, I'd like to expand on that answer with you today as I paint a picture of where I see McKinney as a city in the next 3 years. I see a highly functioning city government working hand in hand with McKinney ISD. I see a first-class place to live where people can come and raise a family. I see ever-improving infrastructure and economic growth as new companies relocate to our fine city. I see a city with a high-functioning community college that embraces and partners with the school district in an effort to improve the quality of education provided by both entities. In essence, what I see is tremendous opportunity. Sometimes stars align and organizations or cities, in this case, have an opportunity to take advantage of strong leadership, high public support, and just downright good timing in order for things to improve exponentially. I spoke of this at the new teacher breakfast this past summer, and I believe it to be the case today. Personally, I could not be happier with the support of the city of McKinney in terms of their support of the district. Mayor Fuller, City Manager Paul Grimes, and the City Council have stepped up to help us with several facility upgrades and new capital improvements throughout our district. I believe that they deserve a round of applause. Additionally, Dr. Matkin, president of Collin College, has also partnered with the district to help us develop one of the strongest dual credit programs in the state. His leadership at Collin College and his support of McKinney ISD is the best that I have personally encountered during my time in this district, which spans over a decade. McKinney is indeed a city on the rise. That said, I would like to offer that McKinney ISD is a school district that's also on the rise. Let me share some specifics with everyone in this room that you may or may not be aware of. Did you know that McKinney ISD leads the county and surrounding districts in starting pay for teachers? Starting salary now is $52,350 straight out of college, which I might add is significantly higher than the $17,600 I had back in 1987. Don't laugh, I thought I was rich, okay? Did you know that McKinney ISD is among only 22 Texas school districts named to the 7th Annual College Board AP District Honor Roll, given to districts that not only increase their enrollment in AP courses, but at the same time increase their scores? This speaks to our desire to provide rigorous and meaningful courses and programs. Are you aware that due to our community's support of the 2016 bond program, every campus in McKinney ISD will have improved in some way or another by the end of this bond program? And we lowered taxes by 5 cents. Did you know that as a year ago, all 3 high schools in McKinney ISD were ranked by the U.S. News and World Report in the top 10% of schools their size in the entire nation? Did you know that McKinney ISD has the only school in North Texas, Serenity High School, that dedicates its efforts specifically to getting high school students with addiction issues back on track so that everyone can graduate from high school? Thank you to the Sperrys for that vision. Yes, there's a round of applause. Were you aware that McKinney ISD has had more Region 10 Teachers of the Year in the past decade than any other district in our region, which is composed of about 80 schools? Did you know that McKinney ISD was recently named for the 2nd consecutive year, not 4, but 2nd, as one of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex's best places to work, as measured by Teacher Retention and Employee Survey? And in conclusion, this one really makes me as proud as any of the others. This stat speaks volumes in regards to the type of culture and climate that we're trying to maintain in our district. This past year, the graduation rate, which is really what we're all aiming at, right, for McKinney ISD was the highest in the history of the district at 98.2%. The bottom line is that the list goes on and on. I could stand before you for hours today talking about all of the accomplishments in regards to our athletics, our career and technical education programs, our fine arts programs, et cetera. But nothing tells a story quite like a video. So I'm going to show you a short little video, and then I'll wrap up my portion of the program.
Although we're a huge organization made up of a number of individuals and people, but all of our efforts seem to always be collective and seem to be focused around serving that number one purpose, and that's serving our students and our community.
I often walk through these halls every day and see different ethnicities, different teachers, different things that come together and make this a great melting pot, and that's one of the favorite things that I love about McKinney.
And it's not very often that you ever hear things like descriptions of, on the east side of McKinney we're doing this, or the west side of McKinney we're doing this. It truly is, what are we doing for our entire district?
We often have lots of events where we bring the community in because it is a safe, nurturing place, and everyone can be who they are. We all have the inherent value.
The underlying current is that McKinney ISD is about community. And I absolutely love working for Dr. McDaniel because he shows us every day servant leadership. One of the reasons why we have so many Region 10 Teachers of the Year is because he sets the tone for our district to be servant leaders. It's an amazing opportunity to work for a district that is all about community. You know, community in our classroom, community in our school here at Press Elementary School, and community in McKinney ISD, because he sets the tone for the administrators, and the administrators come back and set the tone for the teachers, who set the tone for the classroom, and it's all flows down, and it affects our want and desire to create something special for our kids, because it's a special place to be.
I think we all know that kids don't care how much you know until they know how much you care, and I think the foundation of this district is relationships. The teachers usually spend the first week or two team building in their classroom so that they get to know each other and they build community in their classroom, so it feels like a safe place for kids to learn, because our number one goal when they come to school every day is that they're safe. And then after that, we want them to be happy and learning.
We are incredibly blessed here, I think, by a diverse population, a diverse student population, a diverse educational opportunities. We've got teachers who come here from all over the state and all over the country and all over the world. And so being able to glean from that wealth of knowledge, that's a deep well, is essential to the educational experience for our students, and it is unparalleled in many places anywhere around the country.
We have not had a facility that could accommodate the city that we've grown into. You know, I think that when you come to a game, not only is it just about watching the game, but it's also about spending time with your neighbors and with your community. And we really see this as a venue where it's not just about rooting for a specific team like McKinney High, McKinney North, or McKinney Boyd. It's about rooting for McKinney as a city.
When we renovated Edmonds and Walker, both of those schools were about 20 years old, and a lot of the items in the school are end of life. The air conditioning systems, the plumbing fixtures, the water coolers, all these types of things need to be replaced. So as part of our renovation, we do update the HVAC system again to be more efficient. We update the lights to be more efficient, but we also change countertops, sinks. We put in new surfaces like ceramic tile that's durable, that will last another 20 years.
It was really nice to know that the district made an investment in us and just, created a beautiful atmosphere. This is our home away from home, so we want to make sure that we feel comfortable here, and it's a beautiful space to live in.
So anytime we can add value while we're doing renovation, we're trying to do that for the district so we can be as conservative as we can with district funds.
We absolutely are proud of the financial condition of McKinney ISD. I think McKinney ISD is an open book from a financial standpoint. How could we not be as open and transparent and upfront as humanly possible? We do it for the kids and believe that we are always moving McKinney ISD towards the highest and best, most respected financial position that it can possibly be in, both today and tomorrow and long term into the future.
That's our hope, get everything updated, and we won't need to come back and do a major update for another 20 years and get on schedule so we do every building across the district in the same manner. So we have some consistency to make sure everybody has the same facilities for all the students.
I find that here in McKinney, everybody surpasses the expectations of what they may be expected to do, because I feel like the vision here and the culture here is to always go above and beyond and to do more than what you might even think that you can do, which in turn helps our district be even better than we think it can be.
The school district is where I want to serve, where I want my child to go.
People don't want to leave because it is the best place to work. It's the best city, I believe, in the universe.
This is home for me, and this is where I want to be forever. I just love McKinney. That sounds so cheesy, but it's true.
None of these accolades happen without the support of a board that believes in the vision that you're trying to cast. I know we've already recognized the McKinney ISD board members that are in attendance today, but I would like you to join me in giving them another round of applause for all of your support. Special thanks also to Carla Schumacher, the videographer that put that video together. All right, so I thank you for having me here today. I want to leave you with one final thought. McKinney ISD is blessed to be a part of communities such as ours. And my promise to each of you is that we will continue to do our part, arm in arm with all of the stakeholders, to provide this community with the quality of schools that we can all be proud of. We may be many, but we really are one. We are one vital component of an already very successful city, a city that is most certainly on the rise. Thank you for having me today.
Wow, what a great video. I'm a big proponent of servant leadership, so thank you so much for enforcing that in the school district. It's clear that it definitely pays off. I know that what you do is definitely not an 8-to-5 job. Same with our other community leaders and the people who volunteer. So thank you very much for your sacrifice. Lastly, we will hear from our newly elected mayor, George Fuller. George Fuller was elected mayor of McKinney. Actually, I'm supposed to give an update on the relief fund. So the amount that we've raised is $3,500. So thank you so much. That's a lot just since the last speaker. And we still have time. So text the word Texas to the number 41444. And remember, even if it's just giving up one lunch this week, or 2, or 3, or 4, whatever you feel like you want to do. So back to Mayor George Fuller. He is currently a builder and developer of custom homes and commercial properties with George C. Fuller Contracting. Mayor Fuller is the managing construction partner for Adriatica, a 46-acre mixed-use development in McKinney, which I'm sure we've all benefited from. I had a new employee start this past week, and she's new to McKinney, and I actually am newly married, and so I told her about Adriatica on a Saturday morning. Get your yoga pants on, grab a coffee at Starbucks, and walk around the lake, and it's just great to see all of the different parts of McKinney and, you know, how that add value to our life here. So that's one of them. He has developed community infrastructures, retail shopping centers, condominiums, business centers, and some of the most award-winning and decorated homes in North Texas. Mayor Fuller is an entrepreneur at heart. He has had several ventures outside the construction, including BodyQuest, Inc., an international exercise equipment manufacturing and distributing company. He co-created Everride Automotive Parts, Inc., an automotive heating and cooling parts company with national distribution. He also founded AirTech Heating and Cooling, Inc., a Dallas-based commercial and residential general contracting company. Currently, he owns the Guitar Sanctuary, a high-end guitar and music equipment boutique, along with the Sanctuary Music and Event Center and the Sanctuary Performance Academy. Mayor Fuller serves as president of the Stonebridge Ranch Commercial Association, and he and his wife, May Lee, are co-founders of the Love Life Foundation, a nonprofit organization dedicated to bringing awareness of the many tragedies inflicted upon children and identifying and supporting agencies and groups that bring relief and comfort to the young victims and their families. So they do a lot to help our community, and I realized that even more when I saw his bio that I had to read today. So thank you for all y'all do, but I'm not done yet. He's also a board director for Meals on Wheels, and he previously served as chairman of the McKinney Community Development Corporation. So please join me in welcoming our mayor, George Fuller.
Thank you. I forgot about half of those companies and things that I've done. So, well, what a great crowd, a lot of people, an engaged community we have. Though I was talking to my wife earlier, we have work to do on getting people engaged on that front still. 2 days ago, we went to the polling station at Old Settlers Park, and we walked in, and it was myself, my wife, and LaShadion Shemwell, councilman. And a very older gentleman, poll worker, said, "You're the first people who've been in here to vote in 2 days." And LaShadion said, "Well, you realize, sir, that you have the mayor here. The mayor's going to vote." And he literally looked up and said, "Are you Randy Pogue?" Literally. And I said, No, sir. I'm George Fuller. I'm one of the other guys." And he said, "Oh, I think I voted for you." And I thanked him for staying, in tuned and engaged to know that I won. So it is an exciting time to be in McKinney. We're the third fastest growing city, as you've heard, and growth is everywhere we look. And initially I was asked to come up here and share, the growth and business accomplishments of our city, but I think that funny looking guy that should have been wearing a helmet on the motorcycle in the video already did that, and as did Paul Grimes. So I'm actually going to deviate from what I was asked to speak about, because I think you've heard that enough today. We all know what we've accomplished, and it's great things in our city. But I want to take my time and quickly talk about what the video did not show, what numbers and dollars don't identify, and that's the people. I want to share what I've seen and experienced since I've been elected. And first, I want to talk about our incredible staff. I mean, we have the absolute best staff of any city. They do more with less than any other of our sister cities, and they do it consistently, and they do it well. Right? Yeah. Sandy Hart, our city secretary, who is not here, she absolutely sets the pace. And Paul Grimes, we put our future in your hands just over a year ago, and you have greatly exceeded our greatest hopes and expectations. The elected officials that I currently serve with and those that served before me. First and foremost, Mayor Brian Lockmiller. And yes. And Travis, Don, Geraldine, David, Roger, Pete, Randy, just to name a few. You guys set the course. You know, we're up here today. I'm up here. I was on a video bragging about the airport and our FBO increases in profitability, and it's great. I get to do that, but I only get to do that and talk about that today because of the vision and work that you did yesterday. So thank you guys for that, and I am honored to follow in your footsteps. My brothers and sister that in arms today, Rainey, Tracy, Lashadion, Charlie, Scott, and Chuck. You know, you guys care about this community, and you fight to make it better every day. So thank you guys. Scott, if I missed you. Our police, our EMS, and our firefighters, Chief Conley, Chief Kistner, and Charlie Skaggs. It's your work and efforts that make our community safe. It's what attracts people to us. It's the number one concern when people are thinking about a community they're going to live in. It's the school. Dr. Rick McDaniels can't do better than you. And our first responders, we can't do better than them. They are fantastic, and they put us on top. Then I want to talk about quickly the constructive, and I really, if you could see my notes, it's in bold caps, the constructive engaged residents. Right? We all know. The constructive engaged residents in our community. Sean Nance, you're an example of that. Your participation and love for McKinney is the heartbeat of our community. Right? Those that serve on the boards and commissions, without you, we couldn't advance. For those that are members of the McKinney Volunteer Program, you make our community better and stronger. And the many nonprofits, my wife runs one of them, that do so much for this community. They improve lives and help families, and ultimately takes a large burden off the city. So thank you. You guys are true heroes. As a community, we need to strive to elevate our city to even greater heights. Join one of the boards and commissions. Become a member of McKinney Volunteer if you can. If not, volunteer at a school or join and help out in a house of worship. And if those if they don't suit you, then help our community by just being a good neighbor. Because it's truly is an exciting time to be a McKinney. And it is the most rewarding opportunity to lead it. So thank you for giving me this opportunity. And armed with a passion to make our community better and a heart of giving back, we can keep the state of this city strong, stronger than any other city around. We can provide a stronger future for generations to come. You know, I see a room today filled with mostly beautiful faces and people I've known, friendly faces, that many of you, my wife and I, Maylee and I, have known for a long time, and others we've just gotten to know through this position. But we've witnessed you invest countless hours of time. You invest money and heartfelt love to help others less fortunate. It's really what makes our community truly great. Many of you do that staying behind the scenes, letting others take the credit. You know, I'm frequently asked, literally probably every day I'm asked, what do you enjoy most about being mayor? What's been the highlight? And it really is the people. It's the people I've gotten to know through this process, and it's the people that spend their days uplifting others that are the foundation that this city builds on. And we are a city on the rise. Obviously, I love that. I ran with a slogan, McKinney Rising. And I believed it then, and I believe it today, and I believe it for tomorrow. But we're on the rise not because of buildings and businesses that we acquire, but because of the people in this community, the unified foundation of love for the community that drives us to pull people up together across the divided lines that have been there too long. So I'm going to close today by challenging us all. Let's continue to be a rising community that will build a future of leaders who know how to work and live side by side with all races, creeds, political parties, and religions. A community that erases the lines between the east and the west sides of our city while preserving the rich historic heritage found in the east side. Let us find the commonalities instead of differences. For we are all one human race, created as brothers and sisters across the globe. Let's start here and now in McKinney, Texas, to spark a flame that will travel through the community, the state, maybe the country, and ultimately, possibly the world. A vision of communion with each other and rise up to meet our God's greatest expectation. So thank you guys for the time, and thank you for being here today.